Hello everybody, today is September 29, 2025. uh, Awesome Ancient Wisdom, a wisdom uh, video. This video will cover in the category for engineering and science, in particular automotive maintenance or automotive problems and solutions. So timing chain for Chevy Cobalt 2008 sports 4-door 4.4 liter, as you can see it on the screen. And this will not be a detailed step-by-step video, but this will be an improvement to the existing video, which is right here. So I follow all the steps. I use this video for the gentleman, and thank you, whoever you are, for posting the video. But I want to cover the issues on the video and make an improvement, cover the issues and the topics to improve on the existing video. So here's the video that this gentleman made. I will have the URL in the, what do you call it, in the descriptions when I make this video. So the first topic is the saggy chain. What is saggy chain? So I gotta show you video. Hopefully I'm not gonna mess up. Let's see. Oh my god. Okay, here we are. So you can see what's going on. This is right side, this is left side. Okay. So if you watch the videos on YouTube, all of them show perfect. Like after they put the timing chain, well, you got the top chain and the bottom chain. So this is the top chain. What do you call, for the intake and exhaust. But if you're doing this particular car, I'm talking about Chevy Cobalt, then you would know what I'm talking about. So I don't want to talk about all the details. So none of the video will cover this problem. Like you put all the mark, according to where they're supposed to be. Like for example, like this mark right here. You see this, the bottom mark with a little dimple right there, and they will show like, oh, this right side of the chain, the way my finger is pointing, is all firmed up, and the other side is loose, and then you will wonder, this is not right. Something is not right. I got to have this chain all tense, because if you go and try to spin it, it's gonna go out of control, and everything's gonna mess up. And you would think, oh, if I put the chain tensioner, it doesn't make sense, because the chain tensioner would tense up the what do you call this, left side of the chain, and this side will still be loose. So that is a major issue. And what would happen is that when you apply the chain tensioner, it is so powerful that it will make the sprockets, the intake and exhaust sprockets, spin back. It will actually pull it back, and those two sprockets are gonna spin back as you tighten up the chain tensioner, and then everything will be fine. And none of the video talked about that. Okay, so again, this is a major improvement right there, because I consulted this problem to the so-called pro mechanics, and nobody could figure out what's wrong. And I got one ex-mechanic. He's kind of old, but he got a lot of experience. And I got middle-aged or very experienced pro guy too on the phone. My very close friend, and other neighborhood mechanics. So I got plenty of experience, so-called mechanics, in my in my circle. I myself is very I'm an engineer, and I'll be honest, like, I don't have much respect to mechanics because they always give me problems. And so anyway, I don't want to talk too much about the mechanics. Let's focus on top. So this problem, so how to resolve the problem? I will stop the video there now. Okay, to show you what's going on is the sprockets. Okay, let me see if I can take a picture. Oh no, my computer is overheated. Okay, so those are the sprockets. Oh my god. Okay, sorry about the beeping problem, and I don't want to redo this video, so let's just continue. So where is it? So intake and exhaust sprockets. Okay, the video I just showed you with the saggy chain problem. So when you got everything put in place, when you put in the tensional bolt, which you will see what I'm talking about, it will actually pull back these two sprockets to quite some extent. It's gonna tense up everything. Okay, so I'll just leave the topic there and let's continue. And then chain tensioner. So this is the chain tensioner. I would call this major one, major chain tensioner. There's a little chain tensioner on the bottom part in the oil room, where it's gonna come into pressure or come into strength with oil pressure. But this one is the spring pressure, the major one. Okay, and nobody seems to know that this tensioner bolt is reusable, and it's very expensive. They don't sell this bolt individually. If you only some dumb sellers on eBay would try to sell it, use one, and then they don't know how to reset it. To reset this bolt is very difficult and it's problematic. Don't try it. Okay, you don't need to reset it. But if I contacted the seller and say, "Oh, how do I reset it? Like, why don't you reset it and sell it?" Like, oh, he doesn't know how to do it, and he didn't even know that this bolt didn't need to be reset. Okay, and not many people in the world knows about it. Mechanics don't know, and many people, you can search all over the internet. And I figured out that this bolt it doesn't need to be reset. Okay, you can reuse it just the way it is. All right, so I just leave that there. So this is the chain tensioner bolt I'm talking about from different view. It's like a O-ring, the spring O-ring. Don't take it apart and try to reset or whatever. It's gonna be very difficult. So another topic is the so-called 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock position of these sprockets. Uh, First, you have to try to get that in the top dead center position, right? The top dead center, I will cover that is coming in this presentation. Okay, and so it has to be in top dead center, and also this so-called 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock position. So this would be 10 o'clock. This would be 2 o'clock. Right? This intake is 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock. And it's very confusing. So they just, all the videos that you would see on YouTube or all over the internet, they say 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And you will wonder, do I need to measure? Does it have to be exactly 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock? What if it's a little off? Or what if it's like, say you got 360 degree, like, and then this is 90 degree, and then what do you call it? 90, 180 degree down here, and then 270, and then 360 up there. So if you want to use a clock, that would be like what, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and then 9 o'clock. So after 9 you got 10, so this is the so-called 10 o'clock position, and this is a so-called, what do you call, the 2 o'clock position. So I was wondering, like, what if it's like, for example, for 2 o'clock position, what if it's like at 1 o'clock? And over here it's supposed to be at 10 o'clock position. What if it's at 11 o'clock? And I know that it should not be in 9 o'clock position, it should not be in 12 o'clock position. And for this one, it should not be in 12 o'clock position, it should not be in 3 o'clock position. So there's like a one marking, right? So for example, again, so intake, so this is 3 o'clock, this is 12 o'clock, right? So in 2 o'clock position, like what if it's at 1 o'clock position, right? And for this one, what if it's at 11 o'clock position? The answer is that you can't have 11 o'clock position and you cannot have 1 o'clock position. Okay, it's very digital, it moves digit by digit, so it's impossible to have this thing except in that the, what do you call, 2 o'clock position and 10 o'clock position. And it's not really 2 and 10 anyway. You know, it's approximately there, and it may look like, this is like for 10 o'clock position. It looks like a little lower than 10. And this one's supposed to be 2 o'clock. It looks like this is 1 o'clock. Right? So don't get confused. Like they naming this like, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. There's only one spot possible for this one, which is the exhaust sprocket, and for this one, intake sprocket. Only one spot possible in between. For this one, 3 o'clock and 12 o'clock. For this one, 9 o'clock and 12 o'clock. Okay? So as long as you're not in 9 o'clock here, or not in 12 o'clock, and not in 12 o'clock, and not in 3 o'clock, you're fine. Okay? And don't get scared, and don't be scratching your head like me, because these people doing the video, they can't communicate. They don't talk well, and then they talk in very confusing way, and you're gonna have a hard time trying to decipher. And then I know many people have experience with these different cars. Like this car, the timing chain, you don't know what to expect, and you can go to mechanic, and mechanics that they're not honest. Many mechanics are not honest, and they are not very smart. Okay, and worse, like at least some mechanic, like most of the mechanics I know, like my dear friend and the other neighbor and then this ex-mechanic, those are three main mechanics that I respect and that I talk to. But many others, in this business, they just drug addicts, low-life losers. I despise drug addicts, and then they're freaking idiots. They can't talk, and that's why they're mechanic. They're freaking drug addict idiots. So anyway, okay, don't get scared about this 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock position. There's only one possible position, and also, okay, these sprockets, you're gonna need like 2 wrenches to bring in together close, or like maybe 2 of them this way or that way a little bit, and then there's little room that you can move around to adjust to get it right. Okay, and there's only one spot possible here and one spot possible, so you can move around a little bit, right? As long as you're not in dead 12 o'clock and over here dead 9 o'clock, over here not 12 o'clock and not 3 o'clock, then you're fine. Okay, it doesn't have to be like really 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock. And you don't bother try to measure the degrees, or try to get the clock, the exact clock position. Is all nonsense. All right. If you got any question, please comment and subscribe to my channels. And my channel will produce a lot of martial arts teachings and all the scientific and engineering truth discussed here, and a lot of car fixing or technology and automotive. So here's the work that is done. I took the picture. Yeah, you can see the marking is exactly on where it's supposed to be, and you can see this one could be 2 o'clock, and this one is not really 10 o'clock. It's more like 11 o'clock here, right? So don't get scared, or don't be scratching on the am I wrong? Because if you try to move this, this is 11 o'clock, it should be 10 o'clock, right? Try to move it down a little bit, it's just gonna go all the way down and it's become 3 o'clock. Sorry, this one become 9 o'clock. Okay, there's only one spot that it will stay between 9 o'clock and 12 o'clock. Okay, I don't want to keep on repeating, so I hope you get the idea. Alright, so the next topic, the top dead center. To get the top dead center, the gentleman in the video never mentioned that. It's very easy. You have the marking right here. You can see the red arrow marked right here. Okay. As long as you spin your crank pulley, and this piece is called the front cover of the engine, or this is also called oil pump, because there is an oil pump inside this thing. So what you do is you loosen up all the bolts, and before you even loosen up, like you can do this, like you pull your crank pulley. So you see these little zeros there? I put the arrow there. So that arrow and this little mark line up. That's it. You have the top dead center position for your first cylinder. and you don't have to do all kinds of tricks that exist out there with the screwdriver. You put the screwdriver in there and try to guess to see where it is, like when the screwdriver, going down. I don't want to talk about the detail. And another one, another mechanic, like he used a like some tissue paper. He put it there and then try to have like a pop from that. I don't want to talk about that either. The most common method is the screwdriver method, which is probably more reliable than the stupid tissue paper popping. But for this particular car, okay, you have it right there. It's marked, so you don't have to worry about that. And also, if you don't have it marked, what the gentleman said in the video, his method, where you have it, the pulley marking, not this marking, like this mark. You see right here where my cursor is? When that one is in 12 o'clock, it's pretty much you got the top dead center. But if you go with this 00 mark, then that 00 mark have to line up with this, right? Then you got the top dead center. When they line up, and you can see this, the key marking here is on the 12 o'clock anyway. So the bottom line is, for this particular car, you don't need to worry too much about how to get the top dead center. Just line up this little mark here with the 00, and there you go, you got the top dead center. But you also need to have the top dead center, and those two sprockets, these intake and exhaust sprockets, have to be in the so-called 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock position. So that's, you have to spin around and get that, and don't turn back. Okay. Alright, so there's another major improvement to the reference video I'm using, and the minor improvement issues and topics I want to talk about. That gentleman in that video that I'm making reference to, he talks about this like a chain guide bolt, right? Which is really annoying, and he shouldn't even mention that. I don't know why he did that. It's very confusing and annoying. You don't need that. I think he's just advertising for some company or somebody, I don't know, like those so-called chain guide bolt maker on eBay or Amazon. Okay, at the time 1848 right there, like he talks about this thing. It's bullshit. Okay, you don't need that, and don't even pay attention to that. It is really garbage. And he makes a big deal out of that one little bolt. That's what do you call it? That's a chain guide tighten. One bolt that tighten up the chain guide. He called a hidden bolt or whatever, and he will put this so-called chain guide bolt in that. Excuse me. I'm like almost having a hiccup. So yeah, you don't need that. Oh, right here, yeah. So here's a picture. I made the screen capture what he's talking about here. This is garbage, right? Don't worry about that. You don't need it. And then torpedo bolts, right? He talks about that. Okay, so those torpedo bolts for the sprockets are reusable. You don't need to buy it. Okay? So they make a big deal out of that. It's like stupid, like a waste of money. Anyway, and then the last topic, I think it's the last topic, I don't know. Chain shouldn't be saggy in initial inspection, what I'm talking about. Yeah, my car and a lot of cars, okay, when you open it up, look at it, you're gonna see it like this. That is not good. It should not be like that. And after you put everything back in, right? All the correct marking, correct timing, and then you put the chain tensioner, especially the major one, and then the minor one, also the one in the oil pump, right? Everything should be all firmed up. There should be no sag. If you see a sag like this, before or after, you should do the timing chain. You know, so that's the comment I want to make. The reason why I had to do this is because I got a dead car, and I did all the troubleshooting problems, all the standard ones, like, okay, check your ground cable, check your fuel, check your ignitions, like make sure you're getting sparks, ground cable, what else? Check the sensor, like what do you call the cam sensor, and the other one, cam and sockets. What do you call it? Cam and chef sensors. What else? Fuel and ignition coil. Make sure they're all good. Your battery is good. All the troubleshooting problems. I did that, and I got paid mechanics. Came at least two or three. Yeah, three paid mechanics came to look at it. One pro mechanic, but that one I didn't need to pay. He's a gentleman, this ex-mechanic, neighbor of mine. He got a friend still working, kind of old man, you know, very experienced, but he couldn't figure out what the hell's wrong with it too. Okay, so I got at least like 8 mechanics look at this problem, and they couldn't figure out what the heck's wrong with it. Okay, and I did all those troubleshooting steps, and then at least 3 of them threw the opinion that my timing chain is off. So that's the reason why I thought about looking at it, but I wasn't quite sure yet. Like, how do I actually know whether the timing chain is off or not? And my friend, my close friend, he's also a mechanic, suggested to me that, okay, do the pressure testing. So I did the pressure testing, and the pressure was low. So that's how I suspect. Maybe it jumped. I don't know. But the real problem, why it all happened, is it turns out that my what do you call it? My what's the power? Oh my God, I'm forgetting. Not the air conditioning. The charger. Alternator. Okay. The alternator was bad. The alternator, I don't know what the heck happened. It just cracked up everywhere, like make a little crack, and it just like became so tight. It was still spinning, but it was so tight, so it was kind of pulling the engine back, and that's the reason why it was producing this low pressure, and the car is like cranking slowly and draining the battery a lot. Okay, draining the battery a lot and cranking. And I was thinking like, oh, what's wrong? The ground cable not grounded correctly, or batteries are bad, or there's some kind of electrical problem. But it was the stupid alternator that was bad. And it wasn't quite dead. It was just bad. And then as I'm playing around with it, and it became pretty dead. Like, it completely stopped spinning. And I only discovered that after I did all this timing chain job, and then I, without putting the serpentine belt on, I spin the engine around and it was spinning fine. But when I put the serpentine belt on, I couldn't spin it anymore. That's when I discovered, one of those pulley, and then I finally checked the air conditioning, the compressor pulley, and then the alternator pulley, and then I discovered that my alternator was bad. It's dead. It won't even spin. So that was the problem. And guess what? None of the videos that you will see in troubleshooting guide would suggest this problem. All you gotta do is remove the serpentine belt. Start the car without the serpentine belt. Car will start without that, and then you will know, so this is a problem. So that was my problem for this Chevy Cobalt. So please subscribe. This channel will talk about all the truthful knowledge in science and engineering, automotive maintenance, and martial arts, and all the truths out there. All right. Thank you, and God bless you. Again, please subscribe.